I was surprised when she mentioned his sense of humor. But
Sunny Hostin, her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit.
The ongoing clash between The View co-hosts and President Donald Trump has hit a fever pitch, and there's no sign of it cooling down anytime soon. If you've been keeping up, you know this isn't just another political spat, it's deeply personal. The ladies of The View have never held back their opinions. And Trump? He's never been one to stay silent in the face of criticism. But recently, the feud has escalated in ways no one saw coming. The relentless back and forth has turned into a full-blown spectacle, igniting outrage, applause, and a whirlwind of rumors that have social media and news outlets in a frenzy.
Is just unheard of, and it really sounds the alarm for someone like me who studied journalism in college. Right? It's scary.
Let's dive into the latest shot fired in this ongoing war of words. During a recent episode of The View, co-host Joy Behar turned heads when she suggested that Democrats should stage a mass walkout, possibly even in their birthday suits, during Trump's upcoming joint address to Congress. While she was clearly joking, or was she? The remark sent shockwaves through the media. Behar's sharp tongue has always been a thorn in the side of Republicans, but this time, her words seemed to capture the deep frustration many on the left feel about Trump's political resurgence.
she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here. Oh, yeah. Let me explain something to you.
Behar's co-host, Sunny Hostin, didn't hold back either. Known for positioning herself as the show's voice of reason, she took a different stance, arguing that Democrats shouldn't even attend Trump's address in the first place. Why? Give him the audience he craves? She questioned, suggesting that denying him the spotlight would be a more powerful statement than any dramatic walkout. Hostin's remarks sparked mixed reactions. Some praised her for taking the high road, while others accused her of trying to silence political discourse. And then there's Whoopi Goldberg, the unofficial leader of the Views panel. Never one to mince words, Goldberg has taken a unique approach when it comes to Trump. She refuses to say his name, referring to him only as you-know-who. Her disdain for him is impossible to miss. During a recent fiery rant, she declared, "We are not our grandparents, we're not going anywhere, and you can call it whatever letters you want to, but you're going to wake up and we'll still be here." The statement struck a chord with the View's largely liberal audience, but conservatives were quick to slam her, calling it nothing more than grandstanding.
I thought what she also said, in disagreeing with Stephen A. Smith, thankfully, is that the current president does not have a mandate. He does not. And I'm glad that she made that clear to our viewers. I've said it. Joy has said it.
Of course, Trump wasn't about to let those comments slide. During a rally in Pennsylvania, he fired back with a scathing attack on the View's hosts, calling them really dumb people, and singling out Whoopi Goldberg as demented and disgusting. He even claimed that he had once hired Goldberg as a comedian, only to regret it when half the place left during her performance. But Goldberg, never one to back down, wasted no time responding on The View. She shot back, reminding Trump that she had headlined at his casino multiple times before he ran it into the ground. The exchange was as petty as it was entertaining, but it underscored just how deep the animosity runs between these two camps.
You know, not only has Trump emboldened people to run for the highest office of the land, he's actually surrounded himself with incompetency. So that is scary to me. And people that are loyal, that will just do whatever he says and go along with the program, not only in his cabinet, but in Congress. So I'm sort of...
But this feud isn't just about trading insults. It's about power, influence, and the battle over who gets the last word. Trump's supporters argue that The View is nothing more than a liberal echo chamber, while the show's fans see it as one of the few platforms willing to hold him accountable. The tension escalated even further when The View turned its attention to the newest face in Trump's administration, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. At just 27 years old, she's already a rising star, but that hasn't stopped the co-hosts from making her their latest target.
But even factoring in that she's a nice-looking lady, I love that the libs' attacks on conservatives right now are that we're hot and cool.
Leavitt's first press briefing grabbed headlines with its bold reforms, including designated seats for new media like podcasters and independent journalists. But her outspoken stance against wokeness and her sharp criticism of legacy media didn't sit well with the hosts of The View. Whoopi Goldberg was particularly fired up, calling Leavitt's stance hypocritical. "Without that wokeness, you might not even have that job," she snapped, pointing out the struggles women have historically faced to break into positions of power. But it was Joy Behar who took things to an entirely new level. In a comment that has since gone viral, She suggested that Leavitt only landed the role because of her looks, igniting a whole new wave of controversy.
And Caroline Leavitt isn't just making headlines, she's also rewriting history. At 27, the New Hampshire native has become the youngest White House press secretary ever.
Behar's remarks sparked immediate backlash, with critics slamming her for sexism and hypocrisy. After all, isn't The View supposed to champion women in positions of power? Conservative commentators wasted no time calling her out, with many accusing her of trying to discredit a young, accomplished woman simply because she works for Trump. Leavitt herself has remained relatively composed throughout the controversy, choosing to focus on her role as press secretary, but her allies have been anything but silent. Conservative pundit Charlie Kirk called Behar's comment disgusting and accused her of being anti-woman. Even Megyn Kelly weighed in, arguing that while Behar's remark was clearly meant to diminish Leavitt, it only served to highlight the double standards conservative women face in the media.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
The View's attacks on Leavitt go beyond her policies or her ties to Trump. They're part of a much bigger cultural battle playing out across America. The hosts have been relentless in their criticism of Trump's administration, using their platform to challenge his policies and rhetoric. But their detractors argue that their approach often crosses the line into personal attacks, ultimately undermining their credibility and fueling the same divisiveness they claim to stand against. Then, there's the looming question of legal repercussions. Rumors are swirling that Trump and his team are considering a defamation lawsuit against The View. While it's unclear what grounds such a lawsuit would have, the mere possibility has only added more intrigue to this already explosive feud. If Trump were to take legal action, it could set a precedent for how public figures respond to media criticism, and potentially reshape the way talk shows handle political discourse.
Isn't it rich that The View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on...
But such a move could also backfire, amplifying The View's reach and cementing its reputation as a persistent thorn in Trump's side. Meanwhile, the ongoing feud has sent shockwaves through public discourse. Supporters of The View see it as a champion of free speech and female empowerment, while Trump's base views it as nothing more than a megaphone for liberal propaganda. Social media has become a battleground, with hashtags like Sao, Boycott, The View, and Stand with The View trending in a never-ending tug of war, shifting with each new development.
Sunny Hostin on The View, Tom, basically implicating her husband in this type of...
But perhaps the most fascinating twist in this feud is how it has completely eclipsed other controversies brewing behind the scenes at The View. Take Sunny Hostin, for example. While she's been relentless in her criticism of Trump, her own personal life is now under scrutiny. The recent arrest of her husband, Drew Emanuel Hostin, on charges of insurance fraud, has sparked questions about her credibility and whether she could be entangled in the unfolding scandal. It's a developing story, but one that could send shockwaves through The View and threatened to shake the show at its very foundation.
According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgery.
As the clash between The View and Trump intensifies, one thing is certain. This is more than just a battle of egos. It's a reflection of the deep political and media divide in America, a high-stakes spectacle where every word and gesture is dissected and spun for maximum impact. And with new twists emerging almost daily, there's no sign of this drama slowing down. What happens next? That remains to be seen, but both sides are clearly prepared to fight for control of the narrative. Just when you think the headlines couldn't get any more explosive, the focus shifts to Sunny Hostin's unfolding legal troubles, a scandal that could very well overshadow even the most dramatic moments of this ongoing feud. The twists keep coming, and the real question is, what's next? As if the fiery clash between The View and Donald Trump wasn't already making enough waves, Sunny Hostin's personal life has suddenly stolen the spotlight. While the hosts have been relentless in scrutinizing Trump, from his policies to his hiring decisions, Sunny now finds herself facing scrutiny of her own. Her husband, Drew Emanuel Hostin, is caught up in serious allegations, sparking speculation about just how entangled she might be in the unfolding scandal. And let's just say the rumor mill is working overtime.
Oh, but it's just, I mean, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to...
The allegations against Dr. Hostin are nothing short of shocking. He's been named in a massive legal case involving over 180 defendants, accused of participating in fraudulent billing schemes and accepting kickbacks for performing unnecessary medical procedures. And we're not talking about pocket change here. This is big money. The lawsuit, filed by the American Transit Insurance Company, claims that Emanuel, along with others, exploited New York's no-fault insurance laws to cash in on hefty payouts. According to the complaint, Patients involved in minor traffic accidents? Nothing. More than fender benders. Ended up undergoing invasive surgeries they didn't even need. And who covered the bill? The insurance companies, of course.
Let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures.
Now, you might be wondering, what does this have to do with Sunny? Well, that's where things get murky. Rumors are swirling that Sunny, who has long positioned herself as a champion of justice and integrity, may have known more than she's letting on. After all, with her sharp legal instincts and decades of experience, would it really be possible for her to miss something this big happening right under her nose? Could she have turned a blind eye? Or worse, was she somehow complicit in her husband's alleged actions? These are the burning questions everyone's asking. And so far, Sunny has remained tight-lipped. Let's not forget, she's not just any public figure. She's a lawyer, a journalist, and a co-host on one of the most-watched daytime talk shows in America. She's no stranger to holding others accountable, often grilling guests and public figures over their controversies. So naturally, people are wondering, will she face the same level of scrutiny she's so quick to dish out? Critics haven't held back, pointing out the irony of the situation. Some argue that if this were happening to someone on the other side of the political aisle, Sunny would be leading the charge, demanding their resignation. Harsh? Maybe, but not entirely unfounded.
And it's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history.
Sunny hasn't remained completely silent. In a statement to the media, she fired back, accusing the insurance company of targeting her family due to her high-profile status. She dismissed the lawsuit as a baseless attempt to avoid paying legitimate medical claims, arguing that the company, facing financial collapse, is using her husband as a scapegoat to deflect from its own troubles. She even suggested the possibility of filing a countersuit for defamation, claiming the allegations have severely damaged her family's reputation. It's a bold stance, but will it be enough to clear her name?
They're essentially saying that it's a money grab, and they're also going to countersue for millions of dollars, $5 million plus.
What's particularly intriguing is how this scandal is unfolding behind the scenes at The View. Insiders report that the situation has created noticeable tension among the co-hosts. While the show is known for tackling tough topics head-on, this one cuts a little too close to home. Some sources say producers are treading carefully, unsure how to address the allegations without making things even more uncomfortable for Sunny. After all, The View thrives on open dialogue and heated debates. Can they really afford to sidestep such a major controversy involving one of their own? And then there's the audience. Fans remain deeply divided, with some standing by Sunny, while others are calling for her to step down until the legal matter is resolved. Social media has been flooded with reactions, ranging from supportive to downright ruthless. One user commented, "Sunny has always been my favorite, but this is a bad look. She needs to come clean." Another was even harsher, writing, "If she knew what was going on, she's just as guilty as her husband. No excuses." Ouch. But the timing of this scandal raises even more eyebrows. It comes just as The View is under heightened scrutiny, making headlines for its fiery political debates and controversial statements, particularly regarding Trump and his administration. Some speculate that the allegations against Sunny Hostin could be part of a larger effort to discredit the show and its hosts. Is this a calculated attack, or just an unfortunate coincidence? Either way, the optics couldn't be worse.
But if she didn't really know what was going on, right, which is what she's probably going to say later, I had no idea what my husband and his associates were doing. We'll wait and see what that is, but I think it's pretty freaking ironic.
Sunny's co-hosts have largely avoided addressing the controversy, at least publicly. Whoopi Goldberg, staying true to her usual demeanor, has remained focused on the show's broader mission of tackling political and social issues. Joy Behar, known for her sharp wit, has reportedly made light of the situation off-camera, but has kept her remarks minimal during broadcasts. And then there's Alyssa Farah Griffin, normally quick to call out hypocrisy, who has been noticeably silent. Are the co-hosts rallying to protect one of their own? Or are they simply waiting for more details to surface before taking a stance?
Different perspective on this. I don't really know what happened with this. The facts will come out. What I have a problem with is the core of who this woman is. Unlike you, I don't watch The View, bro. All I do is see clips. I know
it's just like twice a day.
But here's all I hear from her. America's violent. America's racist. America's bad.
The growing tension behind the scenes at The View is just as compelling as the scandal itself. Reports suggest that the production team is divided over whether Sunny should address the allegations directly on air. Some producers argue that ignoring the controversy makes the show look hypocritical, given its reputation for tackling tough topics head-on. Others worry that addressing it could be too risky, especially with Sunny's legal team already involved. This internal debate has reportedly caused friction among staff, with concerns that mishandling the situation could lead to a dip in ratings. What makes this even trickier is The View's long-standing brand as a show that doesn't shy away from difficult conversations, whether about political scandals or personal controversies. The hosts have built their image on being candid and unapologetic, so can they really afford to stay silent now? But when the controversy hits one of their own, can they truly maintain that same level of scrutiny? Critics aren't convinced. A media analyst recently pointed out that The View risks losing credibility if it selectively addresses scandals based on personal ties. If they want to hold others accountable, they need to apply the same standards internally, the analyst noted. This sentiment has only fueled the debate over whether Sunny should publicly address the allegations. Will the show tackle the issue head-on, or will they opt for silence and risk the backlash? Either way, the pressure is mounting, and viewers are watching closely to see if The View practices what it preaches.
I would tell them to look at themselves very hard in the mirror and say, have we really not brought this on us?
Emmanuel Hostin's legal team is going on the offensive, working to shift the narrative. In a recent press conference, his lawyer accused American Transit of running a smear campaign, claiming the company has a history of harassing medical professionals. This is not the first time they've tried to intimidate doctors into settling baseless claims, the lawyer stated. Dr. Hostin's only crime is providing care to patients in pain. We will prove his innocence in court. While this defense may be enough to sway some, others remain skeptical, especially given the lawsuit's sheer scale and the detailed allegations outlined in the 698-page complaint. One thing is certain, this scandal could have serious consequences for Sunny's career and The View as a whole. If the allegations against Emmanuel turn out to be true, the damage to Sunny's reputation could be irreversible. Sunny Hostin's entire brand is built on credibility and integrity. While she isn't the one facing legal action, her association with the scandal could still cause lasting damage. On the other hand, if her claims of being unfairly targeted hold up, it might turn into a rallying point for her and her supporters. Either way, the stakes couldn't be higher. As the legal battle unfolds, all eyes will be on Sunny and how she handles the mounting pressure. Will she address the allegations directly on The View? Will she continue to stand firmly by her husband? Or will cracks start to show in her carefully crafted public image? And then there's the rest of the panel. How will they navigate this controversy without alienating their audience or each other? These questions are bound to dominate conversations in the weeks ahead, but let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. This isn't just about one person or one family. It's about the intersection of power, privilege, and accountability. It's about how public figures navigate scandals in the social media age, where every misstep is amplified and every statement is scrutinized. And it's about the lengths people will go to either protect their reputations or bring others down. So, what do you think? Is Sunny being unfairly targeted? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Could this mark the beginning of the end for her time on The View? Or will she come out of this stronger than ever? And how will this scandal impact the already tense dynamic of the show? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay tuned, because if this saga has taught us anything, it's that the drama is far from over.